Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and yes, let's see. Princess party is tomorrow, which is exciting. I'm like stupidly excited for that. I can't wait to sniff all of them. Hopefully the snow will not impede my driving tomorrow. Trying to get them tomorrow first thing in the morning when they open. And yes, but prior to that, we have a little extra fun tidbit, which is Spring 3 newness, or like Mother's Day haulage. I went to the test store today and just got back, and we're gonna haul them right now. So a disclaimer, I just had tongue surgery of all things just like 2 days ago, and so if I'm like talking weird or slow or like doing weirdness with my mouth, that is the reason. It's still recovering. My dentist was like, are you sure you want to get surgery on your tongue before Valentine's Day? And it's like, girl, I ain't doing nothing with my tongue on Valentine's Day anyway, so sign me up, because I'm like, I just want to get this over with. So yes, but oh my gosh, such a struggle to like eat when your like tongue is like healing and stuff. Oh my god, it's so hard. I'm just like ready for the healing to progress and get back to normal. But yes, so if there's any kind of like weirdness or like a lisp or like, you know, weird speech patterns going on, it's because my tongue is still healing from the surgery. Yes, okay, without further ado, let's get into it. So Mother's Day floor set, which is like Spring 3, which is after all the Spring 2 stuff comes out. The floor set after that, obviously. So we have the princess stuff, the tropical stuff already came out, and there's the Easter and picnic party collection that is still to come for part of Spring 2. And then the following floor set with the Mother's Day stuff. This is gonna be some of the stuff in that floor set. Yes. Okay. There's like 2 collections that were out, and there's one that kind of looks like a Disney princess motif, even though it's like the actual Bath & Body Works collection, and it's this collection. And even the, oh god, that's so not gonna show up, the lid has like a pattern on it. Is that, oh, there we go. Yeah, the lid has a pattern on it. It's very like princessy. Like this looks like Snow White, like mirror mirror on the wall with the poison apple and everything. Oh my god, focus. Can we please cooperate? I just have like no patience for technical difficulties today. Okay, let's try that again. There we go, maybe. Okay, yeah, Snow White. It looks like a mirror on the wall with her poison apple and all that kind of stuff. But that's Snow White, right? I would hope so. I think so, because she's the one who falls asleep, and it's Snow White and her 7 dwarves, right? Come to rescue her or whatever. And there's the witch that gives her the poison apple. Yeah. Okay. In any case, so we have Spring Apple first, and that's what that looks like right here. And so the notes on this read, apple trees, vanilla, and sweet pear. These are $26.95 colored glass, white wax, and thick rope-like wicks on this one. And yeah, I like this. This is actually quite juicy, super sweet. There's even a creaminess to it from the vanilla, and I always wanted just like a plain apple vanilla fragrance, and like this might actually potentially be it, and I'm totally jazzed about it. The apple is in there. It's not overly moldy or fresh like the Honeycrisp heirloom apple variety that we get all the time, but it's definitely an undeniable apple fragrance. And the pear gives it even a sweeter quality to it, and there's just a sort of smooth, creamy vanilla to sweeten it. And yeah, I like it. It's kind of basic, honestly. Like it is just an apple fragrance, to be completely honest. But it's done well. It is not Blue Orchard Skies, which I smelled in the store at the same time. That one has a little bit more of this almost like shampoo quality to it, and a more prettiness, where I would say this one's a little bit more sweeter in like a more candy gourmand way. But Blue Orchard Skies is actually quite sweet too. But they're 2 different fragrances, but they're both apple fragrances nonetheless. Yes. We also have Candy Apple Cauldron from the past, and I was like, I wonder if it's gonna be similar to this. And this is green apple, bergamot, and sugar. It is similar, but this one does have more of a sparkling, sort of crystallized effervescence to it, I would say, rather than a creamy smoothness. So it comes off a little bit more candy bejeweled rather than creamy vanilla. But I mean, it's another sweet apple fragrance, so it's like really like splitting hairs. And then we also have Fall Apple Cider right here. This was at Apple Caramel Drizzle and Spice Cider. And it is sweet. It is like sweet and creamy like this, but without the addition of caramel as this has. This was weird because it wasn't really an apple cider fragrance, as it was just a caramel apple fragrance. Kind of misleading. But it's actually quite similar to the sweet creaminess of this, but this one's even sweeter and more like gourmand indulgent because there's a caramel laced through it. And that's Yeah. They're all different though. I think this is new, but it's just not quite as moldy as the other apples, and there's like vanilla and pear in there. I don't know, it's such a basic fragrance. It's like, what am I doing spending time trying to dissect a basic apple candle? But here it is. So spring apple right here. I mean, cute packaging though. And the other new one in that collection is Journal Moments. Oh my god, look at how juicy that blue is. Wow. Okay. Fresh tea leaves, papyrus, and sandalwood. And so I knew Journal Moments was coming a while back, and I was like, ooh, what is that gonna be? Like, is that gonna be like another new Book Loft fragrance? And usually, if they put such an out there concept name to a fragrance, it's usually because it's like something floral or woodsy that people would normally be turned off by if it didn't have a cute name masking it. And then, so this one says, yeah, fresh tea leaves, papyrus, and sandalwood. Those are such misleading notes. This is a full-blown like rose floral fragrance. It's quite an intense powdery floral that's very much in line with a like rose, like that scented toilet paper sachet reference that I always make. And I was making that reference in the store and I was like, oh my god, this is that same like scented toilet paper sort of like mature powdery like old-fashioned floral fragrance. And I was like, okay, I usually say that about You're the One, and I said it recently in another video referencing scented toilet paper, and then it took me a while to figure out what that reference was, and it hit me and I was like, oh my god, I said that about freaking Penelope's First Kiss. And so we have Penelope's First Kiss here, which has more accurate notes of subtle white roses, soft peonies, but then the last note is a Regency era pages. So you can see how like this one indicates a like book pages note in it. This one is called Journal Moments and also puts papyrus as a note. So you can see kind of the crossover there. And I was like, wait, this smells so immensely similar to Penelope's First Kiss. But when I brought it home and I smelled the two, while they are very similar to each other, they're not exactly the same. But I don't really know what I was hoping for this. I guess, yeah, I mean, I guess I was just, I don't know what I was hoping, but I was figuring it would be some iteration of like a Book Loft or floral papery fragrance. But this one, I guess it does smell like paper in the sense it smells like scented toilet paper. So I guess it did end up smelling like paper, but it's just more powdery than I guess I had imagined. And it's weird, like the notes just like who knows what papyrus smells like, right? And then, okay, I guess there's sandalwood in there and then fresh tea leaves, but it is like missing a very glaring floral note in here. And I would say it's some kind of rose or peony or some kind of like powdery, mature floral is what I get from this. I would even say like your like dark kiss type floral undertones, which I believe that also lists a rose note as well. So it must be that like old-fashioned sort of powdery rose. And you guys know I am a rose lover, but it's that type of like scented toilet paper rose that I'm just really not on board with. And so like while this said roses and peonies, I still was not a fan of this. I burned this once and of course it was very strong and I was just like, oh, I don't know. Cause I think I bought two of these first and I already exchanged and returned the second unburned one because I was like, I'm so not gonna get into this. But they are extremely similar. It's almost like this was one of those things like I made the thing with the Sea Salt Caribbean and Calypso Clementine being like, it was like a same concept and they just had two different variations. This feels like they had one concept and then they had multiple variations and these happen to be two variations for that concept. And like this was variation A and this was variation B. They're so immensely similar. But yeah, I would say this one's actually more powdery and stuffy, and this one has just an ever so slight like crispness that is coming from, I guess maybe the tea leaves that makes it a little bit more green and crisp, and less powdery, but still immensely similar fragrances. Yeah, but I guess, I don't know, I mean, I guess because they know people like see roses as a note and they're like, ooh, no, I can't do roses. And then so if they just omit the word rose on here, then it would be easier of a sell is what my guess is. Yeah, I have to say, like, once again, as a rose lover, I love roses, but it's this type of scented toilet paper, old-fashioned rose that I don't love, and this is truly another one of that. So, I don't know. It exists. I mean, gorgeous packaging, and I love the concept on it, but I kind of was hoping it was maybe just something different, but yeah, okay. Everything else in that collection was repackaged up the wazoo. Ice lemon pound cake, fresh cut lilacs, rosewater and ivy in a beautiful like pink glass. I almost contemplated that, but I was like, girl, this is a core candle that's out all year round. What am I doing even entertaining that? Pink peach blossom. Yeah, and then pink lilac and vanilla is the Mother's Day candle with the quotable packaging on there that has a wraparound label rather than a colored glass and sticker as the others do. And then that leaves us with just a very small collection of 4 candles that had sugared lemonade repackaged, strawberry pound cake again repackaged, and backyard honeysuckle. And so backyard honeysuckle must be like really blowing up for them to constantly repackage that. That was out last spring in that beautiful like the honeybee packaging, was it? There was like the bee on there, I think, and it was so cute. And then we had it out again in the summertime in that summer rain collection. And that basil leaf and apple nastiness. Ooh, is this basil leaf and apple? No, that had a definitely heaps of like a herbal note, whereas this one's a lot more sweet and creamy. But in any case, yeah. And then we have Backyard Honeysuckle again out right now in like the Garden Gate collection. And then we have Backyard Honeysuckle again in this collection. So that, it's weird because like that honeysuckle fragrance was gone for such a long time. And then bam, it's on the scene again. And then it must be popular enough for them to repackage it. So I was like, but like I don't need Backyard Honeysuckle in the test preview collection when it's literally on the shelves right now, like in the Garden Gate collection. But in any case, there was that. So that strawberry pound cake and sugar lemonade, snooze fest and all of those. And that just left us with one new fragrance, which is pink kiwi berry in a rather just simple packaging, and kind of pisses me off that the round label is like down here rather than in the center. I don't know, I guess they're trying something new, but that's what that looks like. Very, very simple. Same lid as the other collection. And so yes, so we have pink kiwi berry. I believe this was out last year in a hand soap in a pocket back, and I almost bought it because I was like, oh my god, this smells so freaking juicy, like on cold. But like I am inundated with pocket backs and hand soaps that it's like, even if the fragrance is really good, there is just a very high chance I just simply won't buy it, because how many soaps and pocket backs can you go through? Which I guess you can use the same argument for candles, but you know, candles are just fun and juice and you burn through them. But in any case, yes, and so this was out previously, and I guess I don't know what the logic or rhyme or reason is, but I guess potentially it did well enough last year that they're like, let's take the hand soap format and turn it into candle form. And so we have sweet kiwi, candied citrus, and sunny orchids, $26.95. I'd be interested to see what the notes read on the soap from last year. Sweet kiwi, candied citrus, and sunny orchids. Okay, I guess they're the same exact notes. Okay, cool. I guess don't fix what's not broke. Okay, in any case, yes, so pink kiwi berry, and I actually bought 2 of these, because spoiler, it's so freaking juicy. And I guess, I mean, I thought it was juicy in hand soap and pocket back form last year, but I just never bought it, but I was like, ooh, this smells so good. But then, so we have the candle, it's thick rope-like wicks, and yes, white wax. Oh my god, this is so juicy. Oh my god. It's like creamy and sweet. There's a fullness and a robustness from it that makes it so like just beautiful and pretty. It smells like chewy, like creamy, Starburst candies. Oh my god. It's just, oh my god. It's like juicy and sweet in a creamy, fruity way. But there's, yeah. But there's also just like a fullness to it that I guess is potentially coming from the Sunny Orchids. Honestly, if this didn't list Sunny Orchids as a note, would I like think that this was a floral candle per se? I don't think so. I would just think that it was a pretty interpretation of like a Starburst candy fragrance. But I guess the fact that I'm calling out that it smells pretty would indicate that there's gotta be something a little bit more going on than just a plain fruits. But I guess I appreciate that it gives a robustness or fullness to the fragrance that isn't so in that like, super like sharp candy sour like pink pineapple sunrise or pink apple like pink apple punch or aloha kiwi passion fruit. Has that just very like zingy sour brightness to it, whereas this has something like sort of weighing it down a little bit in like a very juicy and nice way, and it is just absolutely stunning. Wow. But in any case, so what do I get? I guess there's a kiwi in there because there's a little bit of that sort of like tartness that you would get from like when you eat a kiwi, but like I don't think a kiwi really has that much fragrance to it, right? So I think there's most certainly berry in here. I would say like a strawberry, and then I almost get like a cantaloupe or a melon fragrance. Like, I would think like this is more like if like pink melon was a candy flavor. Is that a thing? Let's see, what are the Starburst flavors? Oh my god, there's like so many Starburst flavors, but I guess there's a strawberry, orange, cherry, and lemon are the original ones, but I thought they have like heaps of tropical ones and spin-offs that I just cannot, I just don't have the patience to try and figure out and locate all of them. But in any case, it literally just reminds me of like the juiciest, awesomest like Starburst fragrance. Yeah, oh my god, it's just so good. Yeah, I would say berries. I get some, I think there's got to be a melon in here that it's not listing, and that's what gives it sort of that creamy, like smoothness to it. And I guess kiwi, and yeah, sunny orchids. I mean, it's not overly floral, but I guess there is a slight prettiness to this that I really appreciate. It's probably why I'm gushing about it and loving it so much, versus your, once again, the usual just like super sweet candy, like tropical fruit fragrance that we get all the time. Oh my god, it's just delicious though. I kind of like regret not having picked up the PocketBac or soap to be able to compare side by side, but I would assume maybe if the candle's coming out this year, we might also see matching soaps and PocketBacs, but I can't wait to dig into this. It's so juicy. So we have 2 of these right here. Wow. Okay, and I think that is it for that collection. Yes. At least, so only 3 new fragrances. The apple one's kind of redundant, and so is Journal Moment. So that actually only really leaves us with Pink Kiwi Berry as the one new fragrance, but technically it's also not completely new because it was out on hand soap last year, but it is what it is. They're giving us 6 new Princess fragrances tomorrow, so that better make up for the lack of newness recently, and I'm so excited for that. So yes, I'll probably see you guys again tomorrow once I do my Princess haul, yeah, hope you get everything you want tomorrow. Use your coupons and all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.